Hello. Hey there. Hello. All right, we're working this out. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go.
Yay.
We did it.
Yay.
Awesome. That's so funny. Being the first time on this, I just kind of was like, how long is it going to take for you to get in? So it kind of took a little second. I don't know if there was a delay on your side.
Well, it was me. I finally figured out there was like a place to log in to join, and I had to
Oh,
like put my name in and then hit join.
okay.
It was operator error, totally
Good.
operator error. So
It's all good. It's all good. So I also put us live, so we'll start to see people come into. They could be coming in from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
yay.
So, and yeah, so we'll just see as if people have any comments. This is my first time going live in a while. So welcome everyone. Whoever's here, you can also to drop your name in. I see here there's a chat, so should be able to see anything that comes up. Feel free to share out the stream, and we also have here, you can drop in questions. And I can kind of put them up on the screen, but this is just kind of like an informal hello. And wanted to chat about forgiveness, just I guess we can start off with we can see and kind of go with you and see like what are your thoughts and like what does forgiveness mean to you, and people feel free to kind of type in the chat as well, like what resonates with you guys. What do you feel forgiveness means to you? How have you gone through the steps on your own? And we have some people coming in too. and and
Yay.
introduce yourself too. I feel like I'm like over here, I'm like I'm like, I didn't say
So,
it. Hi, my name is Jenna.
so I'm Angela, and I am a psychic and a medium and a dream interpreter. And what else do I do?
So many things.
Oh, energy healer. I do that too. Yeah, I do all those things, and super excited to be here. Uh, so forgiveness. I grew up religious, so forgiveness to me was always a virtue. Um, Something that I was always told you should forgive people and you should turn the other cheek and you should let go. And I thought I knew what forgiveness was. I'm now finally beginning to understand what forgiveness is. And I it's become a vibration. So I've had this like epiphany that forgiveness is really a vibration. It is like the magic eraser. Uh,
Mhm.
it's it's about looking at it as a vibration instead of like a moral dilemma. Uh,
Yes.
I think I got caught up in forgiveness because it's always, well, somebody wronged me, or it's about who's right and who's wrong, or and all the emotion and all the angst that gets caught up in that. But it's finally hit me that, like, if you have a mess in your house
Mhm.
and no matter who made it, if that guy over there made it or somebody else threw something and made it, doesn't matter in the end. What you really want is you just want to clean up the mess on the floor.
Oh,
That's how forgiveness is on, like, for me on the inside. It's, somebody may have hurt me and it scarred me and it's created this mess. And then, somebody else did something and it's created more mess inside me. When it comes down to it, I don't care who made the mess. I just want to clean it up.
mm,
That's what it comes down to. So
yes.
forgiveness as a vibration instead of a moral dilemma, using it just as an eraser. Like I would pick up some cleanser and I would clean the floor. Like if I make a mess in my house, I'm not going to like have this huge moral debate about, "God, he threw that at me. I don't know that I should clean it up because it's really his mess." Um,
Yes.
Instead of, no, I would just pick up the soap. I would just clean up the floor. That's what forgiveness has become. And I've learned to use it that way. So,
Yes.
and
I
using it
love
for
that.
anything. So using it in that way, like a magic eraser for a lot of different things. Energy blocks, doesn't matter where it came from.
Mhm.
Huge. It is like, I don't know, but it's kind of like Harry Potter. That's what it feels like, total magic. I'm like,
Yes.
how did I not know about this? They were right. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand. It's like, I get it now. It's like, it's vibration. It's all about the vibration and just a simple way to use it. I mean,
Yes.
so simple that I wish I'd known this like 30 years ago. Really, I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like it takes, um, a bit more. I feel like it's, like, the human side of, like, me, like, wanted to, like, overcomplicate, like, what it means and, like, all the pain and, like, all of that, and still, like, kinda feeling that and still having this, like, human, like, dilemma on, overcomplicating it because that's what, like, I was told that it might have supposed to have mean or, all the things that people say, "You should do this or do that." But
Mhm.
yeah, so it sounds like it's taken a bit to kind of start to get in and kind of like hone into that piece there and the feeling of what you just kind of explained. Like it hasn't come overnight, right?
No, in fact, it's still evolving.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be ever changing. It's really hit me now and I really want to share it because it's become something that is practical. It's
Yes.
not this it's not this airy fairy concept or something somebody told me I should do, or it's some esoteric spiritual virtue that we should all embrace. It's like, no, it has become as practical as picking up the sponge and cleaning stuff
Mhm.
up in my home.
Mhm.
I'm I love it for traffic. Oh, using it in traffic
Tell
is,
me tell me about that.
oh my gosh. So, traffic, you get irritated with people. They cut you off, they honk, they don't drive right, they're weaving in and out. You can tell they're on the phone.
Oh, yeah?
They're eating breakfast and putting on their mascara at the same time and driving with their knees.
Mm.
So, and we all have road rage. I don't care who you are. We all get road rage.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time on the road. I travel for my nursing, and
Yeah.
so I get caught in traffic. So I started just busting out forgiveness. I have my mantra, and I just use
Oh,
it. It doesn't
yes.
matter who cut me off. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if I caused it. I just would like the irritation to go away. I want my peace back.
Yeah.
Because the irritation, I give my peace away. It's like my I've come to value my peace of mind and my peace and my power more. I don't want to give it away. I like how that feels. I want to keep it. So it could be that guy's fault over there that he just cut me off. It's made this irritated mess. I just start my forgiveness practice. And within 30 seconds, it's like
Oh, yes.
my center is back.
Oh, yeah,
It
okay.
doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's like the magic eraser. I just and it's
I
gone. again,
we're back.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We had a chat come in. Oh, I think she might have popped out. Oh, okay. Luna. Thank you, Angela, by the way. We have Luna. She said, "You guys are so pretty. And can you give me a shout out?" Shout out to Luna for giving us a little bit of watch today. So I love that. She's coming in on, oh, it looks like YouTube. Cool.
I love Epitherian. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you know what? This is very new to us, like, or at least in the restream for me is very new. So I've gone live on Instagram or YouTube, but I connected all and then working with someone else too. And I'm like, oh, wait, there's a chat here. And there's actually a chat there too. And someone was a little bit rude. So
Yeah.
I had to block them. I won't. Don't worry, Luna. We're not blocking you. But
No.
someone was like, "I'm here to troll," and then they said some very rude comments. So it's all good.
Hey, at least they're honest. I'm here to be a jerk. Hi, here we
Right.
go.
Forgiveness. I forgive you.
Perfect, isn't it? That was
Yes.
perfect. It's like
Yes.
power away. Forgiveness.
Yes. Thank you for joining, Luna. We're just over here talking about, and as people kind of come into, we're talking about forgiveness, super a casual conversation, and I loved all the things that you said, Angela, too. Like, and I think for us to come together, whether it's spiritual aspect or someone who's into spirituality or not, just to kind of have more conversations, more deeper conversations about things that are growing our personal development, because I'm here, when people can have different thoughts, and I tap into the spirituality aspect and work with other and have seen other lifetimes, and I know not everyone is on that page, but we can all talk about forgiveness and what does that mean, and why is it feel like it's so hard, and who is it the hardest to forgive, and I can talk about, for me, forgiveness, and I love how that you talk about it being a vibration, because when I start to look at myself and like how I feel within it, because I've come from a space, I came from a space where I was not doing a lot of feeling, and then had the PTSD, and then now I'm like, okay, I gotta like go in and say, it's not always like I know what I'm feeling. Sometimes I feel like I'm out of my body, and then I go in and I'm like, okay, what am I feeling about this, right? And like forgiveness feels lighter, right? Like when I truly know that I have like forgiven either myself or like someone else, I don't feel as heavy. I don't feel like something's literally on my shoulders, like weighing me down. In a way, it's like I also feel like when I have my attention on a situation, and I haven't put through and gone through acceptance on my terms, and not giving someone a pass, but still it's like releasing the power that it's holding over me.
Yeah.
And instead of giving my power to that situation, I'm more spirit's calling.
All right.
It's all good. And instead of giving my power to that situation, I now have like taken my power back, and then I feel lighter, because I'm like, okay, it doesn't have to be like, I don't have to hold on to that as long as I was. And once I'm on the other side, it gets easier and easier and easier, at least in this path, or kind of what I've done for my own personal development in the few years I've been doing it, is it starts to get easier. It hasn't always been that way. But when I see the results of like, oh, it feels different over here,
Yes.
and then, next time it takes a little bit, for me, it might be a little bit quicker, or like, or it might be instant, everything is that quick for me personally. Sometimes it's like I'm really attached to something, and like, what's the reason behind it? To me, sometimes there's something deeper. There's like, I'm not forgiven this person or this situation because it's actually about something else.
Yeah.
Like, it might actually be about that one thing that happened, like, a long time ago that's coming up, and that's something I haven't maybe seen yet,
Yeah.
or worked through as much. So, um, I have here, Luna says they'll stay as long as they can. And I'm seeing that, oh, okay, I love that.
Nice.
You had a bully in second grade and you forgave. Yes. I love that. It's a journey, man. I want to know, and anyone who's kind of, thank you for sharing, Luna, and anyone else
Mhm.
who's here too. Feel free to share, like, who have you forgiven someone, or are you in the process of forgiving someone, and what does that like feel like? So, Angela, I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel like forgiveness to someone else is different than forgiving yourself? Have you thought about it? Do you feel it's harder to do one or the other? And just kind of,
Yeah.
I want to hear your, yeah, I see you over there.
Yeah.
Tell
I
me.
I was getting caught up on some issues. You know how we think we've released something and
Hmm.
then it comes at us a different way and you're like, "Oh, I thought I got rid of that and here it is
Yeah.
again and it
Yeah.
comes again." Um, it hit me that I had in those circumstances and around those situations, I had forgiven the other person. I had not forgiven myself. I didn't
Mm.
understand that I needed to forgive myself.
Yeah.
Even though like often I considered myself like the victim,
Mhm.
or we all have people do stuff to us. I don't care who you are; it's just part of being human.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I realized how much harder it is for me to forgive myself than it is anybody
Someone
else.
else. Yep. Yeah.
Yes, it's
What
silly. It's silly hard.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And if you guys are still here, let us know. Like, what do you think is harder? Forgive someone else or forgive yourself? So Angela, what do you think it is about that? What do you think it is about, like, because I can raise my hand for that. I like that.
Mhm.
It feels harder to forgive myself than someone else. So I want to hear your thoughts on, like, what, like, maybe there's no reason or logic, but what do you feel? Just whatever's coming to your head.
I think most of us feel like we hold ourselves to a higher standard, or we do not give ourselves. It's because we often do not give ourselves the amount of love that we give to other people, in my
Mhm,
opinion. So,
mhm.
uh, one of the things I ask myself if I that has helped me like forgive myself better
Yeah.
is if my little sister, that I adore, if that happened to her and she was going, "Oh, I just can't forgive myself," or "I don't know if I should forgive myself," my heart would go out and say, "Yes, you should. Yes, of course you should." Well, if I would do it for somebody else, for someone I deeply love and care about, why wouldn't I do that for me?
Mhm.
And
Mm.
it puts things into perspective for me. Like if I would, someone who's
Yes.
dear to my heart, if I would give them that much leeway and slack,
Mhm.
it's like, well, then I deserve it because if I don't love me as much as I do everybody else, it's like, well, it's like
Yes.
it's like having a party and like not inviting myself to my own party,
Yes.
It's just ridiculous.
Oh, I
So
feel that.
yeah, still
Yes.
hard though. It's
Yeah.
just still got to play those mind games in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I definitely, yeah, I resonate so much. It's so funny. Luna's like, I have to go. I'm back. Welcome back. um, I have to agree. I feel like myself that has been it has felt harder because I have like, I'll sometimes know, or I know. I always know what I'm thinking. I was like, I sometimes
Uh-huh.
know what I'm thinking. No, that's not right. Let me rewind. I know what I'm thinking in the moment or what I'm feeling in the moment, and there has been guilt over, like, even if things are left unsaid, or were not actually said out loud. It was like, oh, like maybe I really like feel that way. But we're humans. We're in the moment, and I've had many chats, or like kind of um talked about this with other people, and you know being human and having those feelings, and knowing that it could be coming from somewhere too, like that, giving yourself grace, right?
Yeah.
Like knowing that this is a moment that, maybe it's an opportunity as well to go back, and there's more like personal development and growth in a certain aspect. There's another onion, there's another layer, a whole new
No.
a whole new onion, a whole new layer, and that's okay, but I've found myself where there was like, right, guilt on, like, okay, well, I'm really mean or something, and I know I'm not, right?
Mhm.
I know, I genuinely know, but if there's a situation that kind of came up, and I'm like, you know do I really owe myself that forgiveness? Like, what does that mean if I do that? Like, am I giving myself a pass? But I really, and it's not perfect, but I'm really looking at and working through things on a, like, a different perspective and outside look on, like, we do have feelings that come up in the moment. There are things that happen, and that's okay. That's okay to kind of allow that, um to move through and process, and it's, sometimes it just is,
Yeah.
right? Right.
Well, this is the other thing. I I have also caught myself not forgiving myself because it feels like a defense mechanism. If
Mhm.
I feel guilty about it and I keep that there and keep beating myself over the head with it, it won't happen again because I'll
Mhm.
know it's right here.
Yes.
Well, what we know about energy is whatever we focus on is what we get.
Yes.
So that actually has the opposite effect because I'm
Mhm.
always beating myself over the head with it. Therefore, I'm always focused on it. So what am I pulling toward me?
It's Yeah, the cycle
Yeah, it's the
spinning.
cycle.
It keeps going around, and, like, for me, my big thing was, worthiness, like, just, um, I'm like, am I worthy of, and worthy was a theme of, like, just so many, it's been so many different aspects of, like, my personal development and growth, is like, it goes back to this and forgiveness, like, am I worthy of, like, releasing myself from, like, the chains of, or if you want to look at it as like a lower vibrational feeling, am I worthy of being free of, like, all this, and where is that coming from, and diving into the root of that, and, like, for me, and I know there's a lot of things within childhood or whatever that's kind of like, this is the mindset that was developed, and so that might, like, kind of unveil, or it unveiled very much so in the beginning of my journey quite a bit, and just kind of putting that in check, or in a way of, like, being aware, and
Mhm.
then saying, okay, this is actually not true. This is actually just my perception based on this, right? Like,
Yes.
the truth is, um the truth is that I don't need to hold on to things, that nothing is, at least from me, like, I never do something from a bad space,
Mhm.
and that it could have been coming from somewhere else, and why am I holding on? So yeah, it's interesting. So
And guilt is one of those things that, as you were saying, like that stuff we grew up with, like
mhm.
guilt was payment. Like if you did something wrong, if you felt guilty about it, it was payment. It
Yes.
was punishment. It was payment. And that it we were taught it like served a purpose. At least I did.
Yes.
Um, but honestly, guilt is like one of the lowest vibrating energies that exists.
Mhm.
And so to use it for anything or focus on it, it doesn't do anybody any good. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
we want to vibrate high. Love vibrates high. Guilt is not payment. Guilt, it doesn't really serve any purpose except
Hmm.
to what do I want to say? Trip the fire alarm. Like,
Yes.
I feel like I've crossed the boundary that should not have been done, but
Yeah.
to hold on to it, it's yeah, it's like holding garbage and keeping it and
Hmm.
having it follow you around. It serves no purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I agree, like, when you kind of start to look at things from that, like, from a frequency and a vibration and just,
Mhm.
like, I know I've been in spaces and points in time where, like, I'll see like, what I'm constantly thinking mirror back in my environment, and it's like, it's just this cycle keeps coming back around and around, around, and it's that heaviness that I truly, truly I'm like, all right, no, something is here that I'm still holding on to. And it's an interesting journey, but it's something that is it's ever evolving, like you said in the beginning.
Mhm. It is
Yeah.
for me. Well,
Yeah.
oh, and talk about you wanna lose, like, do you wanna feel like you've lost 240 pounds, out of
Mhm.
nowhere?
Mhm.
Forgiveness. It just and that's the other thing. I really, really, really appreciate when someone can take something that is so ethereal and esoteric and non-tangible and philosophical
Mhm.
and make it something practical for me.
Yeah.
Something that I can like put my hands on and use. And my whole my whole life theme is just simplify, keep it simple. If it's getting too complicated, I'm like, that is not for me. It needs to be simple. Simple is better.
Yes. Yes.
Simplify. So
Yes, I agree. I agree because we do when you get into like spirituality and like just there's so many things that people say that I'm like, okay, did we just overcomplicate?
and
Maybe.
this is the thing for me though. Some people's minds work that way. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no good or bad way. I just like you said, how you listen to people and it's like that is too complicated and
For me, yep.
this
Mhm.
works better for me, but I know people's minds that they need it. They need all the detail and they revel in it and
Mhm.
but yeah, I agree with you. I think there is always a boiled down simplified version in
Yes.
existence that is possible. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, and then, you can go with what resonates the most with you too, because
Yeah.
if you wanna add on different aspects and different layers, I say go for it, but, the more layers that this means this, like X and Y and Z, and simplicity is lighter. And if we can understand things more in the moment, we can like rewire and like retrain our brain to kind of
Mhm.
just, okay, no, this is it in the moment. Like the word, the word relax, like if someone does a hypnosis therapy and they kind of train their body to like kind of relax, and what does that mean, and kind of go through that, and then you're like keeping it simple in the present moment. You're like, okay, well, now when I think of this word or whatever it is, like my body's just in that state, right? What is that
Mhm.
feeling? What is that state? And just leave it very, very simple. Um, yeah.
I
So,
think that I totally agree with you. The one thing that I don't care what skill I'm working on or what gift it is, whether it's the mediumship or the
mhm.
healing or trance, all of that stuff. The message that keeps coming through for it to get better is you need to relax and let go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
practice relaxing and letting go. All of them,
All of
every last one. It wasn't, "You need to learn these formulas, and you need to focus on this." It's all been, "Will you please just relax, let
Just
go?" And I'm like,
take
"I
a
am
minute.
relaxed and letting go." And it's like, I am learning what that really means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know. Didn't know. It's a learned skill, seriously. I think it is for a lot of us.
Yes, it is. It so is because it's just like whether it's forgiveness or relaxing, it's like we're told this is what this means and this is like the book
Mhm,
and we're told it from different people and now that kind of gets like kind of all jumbled together and like
mhm.
becomes a definition and it's like, wait, I need to actually, what does this mean to me? Like, what is the truth in this for me? Which is why, like, I feel like even if I feel like forgiveness or something else means something,
Mhm.
I always tell people use your discernment and like, how do you feel when you're hearing someone? And does it resonate? Do you resonate with just a piece of it? Like, maybe that's a piece that, you're open to this moment, or maybe that's just that's the truth and that is what's ringing within you. So I
Yeah.
love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I wholeheartedly agree, and I tell I when I'm doing readings for people or talking to people, I always tell them, "If it doesn't ring true to you, throw it out. Take
Yeah.
what works for you and leave the rest." And I said, "I don't care who it comes from. I don't care if it comes from me or anyone else. If it doesn't pass like your tummy test, if it
Yeah.
doesn't resonate with your inner self, I'm like, it's not for you."
It's so true. Yes. I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to so thank you so much for joining and for like
Mhm,
collaborating with me on this because it was definitely such a collaborative effort here. I'd love to just kind of because I know some people either they might kind of rewatch it and they might stay to the end or not, but I'd love to give like just a little synopsis on we're doing an event on Sunday
mhm.
and wanted to kind of talk about that. And this way people can see, if they're local, then, if you're not local and you're watching this, that's fine. The event is, hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. But if you are local in like the Arizona, Phoenix metro area, we are doing an event at the Place of Spiritual Wisdom, Angela and I, and it's called the Lionsgate Activations. And basically, I'll give it over to you, Angela, soon. But basically, we're coming together to do a multitude of things during this Lionsgate portal, which I feel I don't. Who feels the energies, but I feel there's a lot there's a lot of energies happening and it feels very powerful. This time something feels different. Maybe I'm just more aware of the energy this year than last year, but we are pretty much going to be doing a cacao ceremony, having cacao, helping to open up the heart, starting to look at different exercises to help us open up the heart. And then we start to go into, and Angela, you go.
Yeah, and then we are going into a forgiveness and releasing ceremony. So, anything, any inner baggage, weight that wants to be dumped, come and dump it. This is the place to
Yes.
do it. We'll be assisted by the archangels. Yeah, seriously, like drop the mic and leave it. Just go. Um, we'll be doing that. We will also be doing a guided meditation to help with that and learning about forgiveness practice, a simple forgiveness practice
Yes.
that to use it as a tool instead of a moral dilemma.
Hmm.
Um, and then the stuff that people are releasing, I am going to have a ceremony the day of the Lion's Gate, so Thursday, 8/8,
Yes.
and have a burning ceremony and really just send it all away.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then
Mhm.
we jump into the end portion of it where we will be journeying to ancient Lemuria.
Yay.
So
I wanna
we
go.
yeah. So it's an energy transmission throughout it, there will be light language, there'll be different activations. Basically, we'll be going to journeying through to Telos, which is a hidden or they tell me hidden city for Lemuria, and working with Lemurian guides there, where they'll be there, whether it's with us for the journey, the energy transmission. Some of them may decide that they want to stay like a little bit after with us to help us integrate. It's just kind of whatever's, everyone's different. Everyone's
Mhm.
energy is different. Everything's kind of different there. And then we are journeying to ancient Lemuria, which I keep seeing as this crystalline space, like
Mhm.
pre-Earth density.
Wow.
So it's pretty interesting. In general, there'll be just lots of activations connected to our abundance, right?
Mhm.
Divine feminine energy, kind of harnessing all of that in between. And so we're releasing and we're activating. And
Yes.
so the perfect journey.
Letting go, it creates a vacuum. It helps to fill it up with something so that it doesn't fill back up with the old stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
put something in the place.
So,
Nature doesn't like a vacuum. So,
exactly. So that is on. So if you're on YouTube, because I do see someone, there's been people popping in and out on there. Um,
mhm.
I'll make sure the Eventbrite is linked in the live. It's also Angela, you should have, because you're a host, where it should be. If people have seen it on yours, the event is connected to you on your
Okay.
name. You're shown as going, as well as under my page as well. Or if you're watching this video, kind of, and you just kind of find it incognito, it'll have, and I'll make sure I can add in the Eventbrite in there as well. So check it out, see if it's something that you're interested in. We're excited on
Mhm.
doing it. And I have just enjoyed the conversation.
So have I. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you, Angela. And
Thank
thank
you.
you, everyone who's joined throughout. So
Yes.
we'll see you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good
All right. Bye.